Connor, why don't we start with you?
Connor, just state your name for the record, please.
My name is Connor Nagel. I'm a professional engineer with PHP.
And you have obviously worked intimately in this project, have you not, Mr. Nagel?
Yes.
And just give us briefly your professional background.
I'm a professional engineer in Rhode Island and Massachusetts with about 14 years experience. I've been working on the stop-shop fuel program for about 2.5 years.
And have you testified before this body before?
Not before this particular board.
Have you testified before boards, similar boards in the state of Rhode Island?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And how many in your estimation?
3 or 4.
And have you been recognized as an expert in that area?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And have you testified in Massachusetts similarly?
Yes.
And you've been on this project for 2.5 years, correct?
About that, yes.
Yeah, and you hold a license in Rhode Island, an engineering license?
Yes, I do.
Okay. With that, I'd ask that Mr. Nagel be qualified as an expert.
So we don't need to qualify him as an expert. We'll accept him.
Okay, thank you. Make it a hell of a lot easier than Providence, I can tell you that. Okay, Mr. Nagel, can you just tell us briefly what you reviewed in anticipation of your testimony today?
Sure. In the design of this site, we've looked at the impervious cover, complying with the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management regulations in terms of proximity to the wetlands, in terms of stormwater and stormwater treatment, and as Mr. Tabor can testify better to the rules and regulations pertaining to underground storage of fuel. As Mr. Tinchmore mentioned, in terms of traffic, we've also been through write-off for a physical operation permit.
Have you participated in the meetings with RIDOT and with Rhode Island DEM?
I have not been involved with write-off. Our traffic expert has taken care of that.
And based on your review of the materials, what conclusions, if any, have you reached regarding this project?
We have met the requirements of RIDEM and RIDOC for the relevant state permits, being an insignificant alteration permit, a USG permit, and the EAP permit from RIDOC.
Now, obviously, this board is very concerned about the presence of the proximity of the Pecasset River in relation to this project, correct?
Correct.
And what, if anything, have you reviewed in relation to that issue?
In the development of this site, we have, at this location here, the closest corner to it, there is approximately no change. Then in this area of the site, we have pulled away from the line of the river significantly. We've increased the pervious cover, the landscape cover on the site by approximately 12%, which in turn reduces the stormwater runoff from the site. We have also pulled back the existing parking that was all along the frontage, creating a significant buffer strip that we have landscaped along after that. It should improve from that way out.
Have you done any work with respect to the internal maneuverings of the project, traffic-wise?
Just to facilitate the truck turning, the traffic moving.
And why don't you tell me what you did in that regard?
We have run truck templates on a fuel tanker, which is slightly larger than a WB50, a 50-foot articulated truck. The delivery trucks would come in at the signal along this aisle, circulate down to the tanks, stay within the fuel facility, and exit the same way at the traffic light.
And from an engineering standpoint, Mr. Nagel, do you deem this project to be compatible with the neighboring uses?
Yes, I believe in pulling the pavement back in the street, we're going to improve the look along Outwood Ave. It's a commercial property, it's in keeping with the property around we're improving the site condition.
Okay, and I know that Mr. Tabor will testify, but in your opinion, from an engineering standpoint, are there any environmental effects, negative environmental effects that you see as a result of this project?
Not in my opinion.
Do you deem it to be, from an engineering standpoint, compatible with the orderly growth and development of the town?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. In fact, have you driven up and down Atwood Avenue?
Yes.
Are there other gas stations on Atwood Avenue?
I'm not overly familiar with that, but there's the Shell station on the corner down here, I believe it's the Shell.
And are there any residences abutting this area at all?
And not that I've noticed.
In fact, the entire area is commercial, isn't it?
I believe so.
And did you utilize the best engineering practices and procedures to minimize any effects, negative effects it would have on the neighboring facilities?
Yes, we did. We've improved the stormwater system to remove suspended solids, reduce peak flows, using low impact development techniques to get the best removal of pollutants. I believe we have.
This project substantially served, from an engineering standpoint, public health, safety, and morals and welfare of the town of Johnson.
Yes, I believe it would. Mr. Tabor can speak more to the safety of the fuel facility, but I believe it will.
Is there anything more you'd like to add, Mr. Nagel, in terms of the positive effects that the creation of this fuel facility will have on this parcel?
The main, from my perspective as a site engineer, the main benefit is in the reduction of impervious cover, the 12% increase in landscape, and the significant improvement of stormwater treatment on the site.
When you define significant improvement, can you quantify that for us?
Currently, stormwater is collected in catch basins and discharges untreated to the Catholic River. And discharges untreated to the Catholic River. We're proposing a catch basin collection system through storm scepter unit. Those are more technical, or rather swirl separators that will separate suspended solids and oil and gas, and then discharge to a fire retention system and further remove hydrocarbons and the like that might be on pavement, more so from normal traffic rather than the actual fuel use. We remove all that in keeping with the PEM requirements, and thereafter discharge as it did before to the Catholic. Our peak discharge being less because of the improved or increased pervious area.
Is there anything else from an engineering standpoint or site perspective that you'd like to add in terms of the improvement of this lot as it exists right now?
No,
Does the board have any questions?